Look out your window, or better yet, look at your Instagram feed. You see the guy in the lime green Lamborghini. You see the 22-year-old with the diamond-encrusted watch. Your brain immediately does a calculation. That person is successful. If I had those things, I would be happy. But here is the first law of the BerkWay. Spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. It sounds like a joke, but it is a mathematical certainty. There is a psychological phenomenon I want you to understand called retributive materialism. It's a fancy term for a simple truth. Many people who overspend on luxury items are actually trying to heal a wound from their past. Maybe they grew up in a house where they felt invisible. Maybe they were the kid in school who got teased for having generic sneakers. Now they are successful and they are using money to scream at the world, "Look at me, I matter." But the tragedy is that the Lamborghini doesn't actually tell the world you're a genius. It just tells the world you spent $300,000. Wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the car not purchased, the diamond not bought, the watch not upgraded. Wealth is the silence of financial security, while rich is the noise of consumption. Well, let's talk about the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is a function of your income. It's the size of your paycheck. If you make $500,000 a year but you spend $499,000 to maintain your lifestyle, you are not wealthy. You are a high-paid slave to your own expectations. If you stop working for 1 month, your entire world collapses. That isn't success, that's a gold-plated treadmill. True wealth is the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. I have met people with a $10 million net worth who are absolutely miserable. Why? Because they have zero independence. They are tied to a board of directors, tied to a toxic business, or tied to a lifestyle that requires them to work 100 hours a week just to keep the lights on. They are rich ghosts. The BerkWay formula for life is simple. Wealth equals independence plus purpose. If you have money but no independence, you're a prisoner. If you have independence but no purpose, you're bored. You need the money to buy your time back, and you need the purpose to know what to do with that time once you own it. Why do we spend so much energy trying to impress people? There was a famous psychological study called the spotlight effect. Researchers had a student wear a truly hideous, embarrassing t-shirt, think a giant neon-colored face of a B-list celebrity, and walk into a room full of people. The student was mortified. They estimated that at least 50% of the people in the room noticed how ridiculous they looked. But when the researchers interviewed the people in the room afterward, fewer than 10% had even noticed the shirt. We live our lives thinking there is a giant spotlight on us. We think that when we drive a nice car, people are thinking, wow, that guy is a legend. But they aren't. They are looking at the car and imagining themselves in it. They aren't thinking about you. They are thinking about them. No one is as impressed with your stuff as you are. Once you realize that most people are too busy worrying about their own ugly sweaters to notice yours, you are finally free to spend your money on things that actually bring you value, not things that you hope will buy the respect of strangers. In the old days, you only had to keep up with the Joneses. Your neighbor bought a new Buick, so you felt a little bit of pressure to wash your Ford. But today, the Joneses are the top 0.001% of the world. You are comparing your messy, behind-the-scenes life, the burnt toast, the credit card stress, the messy living room, to the carefully curated, filtered, and edited highlight reels of billionaires. This creates an expectation gap. We have reached a point in history where our standard of living is higher than almost any humans who have ever lived, yet our happiness is lower. Why? Because our expectations have outpaced our reality. If you make $100,000 a year, but you think you should be making $1 million because of what you see on TikTok, you will feel like a failure. If you live in a beautiful 3-bedroom house, but you feel cramped because you see influencers in 20-room mansions, you are poor in spirit. The goal of the BerkWay is to be internally benchmarked. You have to decide what enough looks like for you, regardless of what the person on the screen is doing. We often look at the titans of industry and we say, I want that life. But we rarely look at the cost. Extreme success usually requires an extreme personality. Many of the most successful people in history were, quite frankly, nightmares to live with. They were maniacally obsessed. They sacrificed their health, their marriages, and their relationships with their children on the altar of their ambition. We should be grateful these people exist because they build the products that change the world. But you have to ask yourself, do you actually want their life or do you just want their bank account? Start looking at your calendar. If you own your time, you are the richest person in the room. Class dismissed.